Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Stafford. They'll run the screen with Carson. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Now it's Stafford. Unable to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Now the second year back from LSU, it's Darius Geis. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, Minshew. Stocker's got it. Complete. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6. Down.
They'll try to throw for it with Minshew, and it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge, and it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Marquise Lee deep to return. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
22!
On second down, it's Carson, and he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, but it'll be second down. Here's second and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing again. Stafford. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. First catch for last year's NFL catch leader, and it's a first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Here's Carson. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. And that's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing is Stafford. And he's got it. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They come up in an offset eye. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. No score after 1 on EA Sports.
Ready, waiting.
They'll try to run with Carson, and he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Back at the 2 now. Here's second and goal. Stafford now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Trying to punch it in with Howard. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. We become so accustomed to it, you sort of take it for granted.
You really do, but he is so good that every team in his division, every year, is trying to make sure they draft people charged with trying to block J.J. Watt. So far, hasn't been too successful.
So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Justin Houston making his presence felt there in the backfield.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowl cornerback, Richard Sherman, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Ready up.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Minshew sets to throw. Complete. It's Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Steeler first down on a pickup of 11 yards.
Ready? 70.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by T.J. McDonald, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen.
At the 37-yard line.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Stafford. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
They're watching the film, and it's working. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Minshew. That's going to be caught. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. T.Y. Hilton, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go! At their own 30-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. From the gun, here's Stafford. Oh, he can't hang on. That was a dream chance for any D lineman to possibly get a pick. But instead it falls down incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Stafford. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
1st down, Seattle.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. On 1st down, Stafford here. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. This is Carson. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Go 60!
A gain of 7. 1st down,
Middle.
Now it's Carson. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Right here, guys. Mike 51. Mike 51. Let's go. Mike 22. Mike 51. Mike 51. Tighten down. There you go. Hey, wahoo!
On 2nd and 11 now. Stafford, they'll find Everett there, complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Check 52.
On 3rd down. Carson, he'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And finally, wrestled down at the 11. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 10-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
3rd down. 3rd and long.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be a 37-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
That's what I do.
2nd and 5 now. Minshew. And he whips that one incomplete there. Damiere Byrd, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game. And I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
From the gun, Minshew to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. picked off by Bud Dupree. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. They'll try to get this running game going with Geis. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. They'll try and get it with Geis. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Darius Geis, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. Then they just have to
coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time, 1-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
32.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a run with Geis, and he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down, then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Minshew throwing on 3rd down. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop him?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Corner blitz by Josh Norman works like a charm.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Another try after the first down sack. Minshew eluding the pressure right. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force an incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
55.
So third and long, here's Minshew. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They run again with Carson. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he's got Fitzgerald. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, first down Seahawks.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Back now in Pittsburgh. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play.
Check. Lucky.
Throwing on second down. Stafford nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out, you see, and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked up by Troy Apke. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
I tell you, you don't have press conferences when you sign guys like this. But he's been a real difference maker so far. There's now 2 interceptions for him in the game. And when you're getting contributions up and down your 53-man roster, you're going to be all right.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got Jack Doyle. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
So they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Out of the gun is Minshew. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Jared Reed muscles his way in for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, it's a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, Those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Stafford on first down. He completes it to Boyd. And down inside the 15 he goes. So even with the pass interference, it's a completed pass. They'll go ahead and just take the play instead.
How about the effort? Making the catch despite the pass interference. Nothing else to be gained on the play. No need to take the penalty. The play stands.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Stafford. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Bud Dupree. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Or has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They stay on the ground. Geis again. Little power on the move that time, but still tackled shy of the 20. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
Let's go now. 18 Gator. I'm here all day. Check 26, check 61. Let's go.
On first down, this is Geis. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Back to throw. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. read the pressure, and got rid of the football before it even...
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down. Keep the sticks moving.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Steelers, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.